What's good? What's good? Another day, another video here. Okay, in this one, I'm going to say California is about to go back to basics. So, California, which is where I live, Sacramento to be more specific, California got super messed up over the past couple decades, basically since I was born. Probably since the 80s, to be honest. Probably since the 80s. I was born in the 90s. But it basically went so far left that it almost got communist. So left on the political spectrum. It went so far that way that it basically got communist here. At this point, people are pretty much kind of communists in California, not gonna lie. At least enough of the people here are that it looks like communism. But of course, not everybody is communist here because it is America still. So not everyone thinks that way, especially not the people in the towns and stuff. Like, for example, I live in a town I live basically in Sacramento. Like, if you drive 2 minutes, it's Sacramento. But I'm kind of in between Sacramento and a town, and it's not really a small town anymore, to be honest, but still kind of a town. And most people in that town are conservative, Republican, whatever you want to call it, but it's more country on that side. So people act kind of like country people. But then you have Sacramento, to where it's essentially communism, if I don't want to say feudalism, but it's pretty much communism there. And everyone's poor and stuff. There's tent cities out there. No incentives at all to do anything. So that kind of looks communist. But a lot of the individuals and companies that caused this to happen have now left to places like Texas. So this is mainly Silicon Valley. So I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you know of all of the people that left California, all the companies that left California to go to, honestly, Texas and Florida. But a lot of them really went to Texas because probably the space there, and they probably went to go wreck that place, not gonna lie, because of the laws they have there are friendly to business, but then the type of business they're gonna do there is gonna kind of mess up the feel that Texas used to have. So I put in this script. I feel sorry for Texans. They could face the consequences of what Californians had to face in another 20 to 25 years. Because if you look at California, the majority of places are actually conservative, but it's just those big pockets of urban places that are not. And those are the places that kind of went so far left that they became communist. And because they make so much money, they affect the politics of the entire state. Because money talks in politics here, especially especially California or especially the United States as it stands now. Money talks a lot in politics. I don't know if it's always been that way, but it's just that way right now. And yeah, so the Texans could be facing the consequences of that in another 20 to 25 years. But as for here in California, the path has opened up for new entrepreneurs that want to start small. So that's people like myself, people like you, maybe watching the videos, or maybe you're just regular MGTOWs for whatever reason. But if you're a younger MGTOW, then you're probably gonna end up being entrepreneurial, even if you don't think of yourself that way. It's probably gonna happen as you get older because you're just gonna see the opportunity. And if you have some resources saved up, shoot. Entrepreneurs that want to start small, so you might not be doing the big business that is kind of characteristic of, like, when you think of the traditional entrepreneur, like the Bill Gates or something, or like the Elon Musk, not necessarily that type of person, but just the average small business that will maybe compete with your local Walmart or your local CVS pharmacy. That's what I wanted to do before I like got booted out of pharmacy school. Basically, that's all I really wanted to do, was to have my own like pharmacy thing and maybe expand it. But I couldn't do that because my mentality was not the same as kind of like where healthcare was going. But so yeah, entrepreneurs that want to start small. So we're gonna see the resurgence of small businesses, like small farms, small banks. Maybe that small pharmacy might be doing well pretty soon because of the change in mentality of people after this COVID thing. And after all these people leaving, more localized banking practices, that's going to be huge, because you probably don't realize when you drive past all those small banks in your neighborhood or in your city, in your small towns, you probably drive right by them and go to like your Chase Bank or something like that. Like, I know that's what I did for a long time. But those small banks are going to be pretty important coming up, because the local people are going to be going to those people rather than those big corporate banks. And that is going to be something that's not really noticed, but is going to have a big impact, I think. And then new technology will be employed to help these new ventures. That's where I come in now, because forget that pharmacy stuff. I got booted out of there, so screw those people. I might still help them with technology though, so I'm not going to say screw all of them, because I do have friends that do that thing, but I just couldn't do the corporate thing. So new technology will be employed to help these ventures. I'll definitely help the small guys for sure, if they want that. I don't know if it will be blockchain. It could be, but I'm almost positive that software and social media will play a big role in this. So imagine social media plus blockchain. I throw blockchain in a lot of this stuff here because that's just what I'm studying now and it's cool to me. But imagine social media plus blockchain. So social media is basically a trustful kind of software, simply because, how do I put it? Because you can't like hide from your posts. If you post something, you posted it. So you can't say, oh, I didn't post it. Like, you could delete it, but if you have a social media where you're posting consistently, I mean, that's just you. You can't say, oh, that's not me posting it. So it's trustful in the sense that that's just who you can tell what the person thinks. Like, for example, me posting these videos, if someone just watched the videos I posted and what I said, you would kind of know me a little bit, just because I'm just saying what I'm saying, right? It's like I'm talking to hundreds of people for some reason. Hopefully it's thousands later, but I'm talking to hundreds of people now. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of how I put it. I don't really know how else to put it, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm putting it. And then blockchain is all about trustless. So blockchain is kind of a technology that makes transactions possible between parties that have no reason to trust each other, mostly because they're not close to each other. That's the main reason. Of course, there's other reasons not to trust a party, but mainly because you don't see the person, or maybe you don't want to trust the middleman. That's also kind of a big thing behind blockchains. So there's a trustless architecture there and a trustful architecture in terms of social media. So if you combine that, that's just interesting to think about for the future. that's just kind of cool. That's why I think if blockchain just becomes a bigger thing after we get past this non-fungible token crap, because like to me a lot of that stuff is kind of dumb, but hey, maybe all those non-fungible token art things, non-fungible token art pieces, there might be something more to it than I'm seeing, because I'm not necessarily an expert, so don't take my word on it. But I just don't see how you're getting a piece of digital art for millions of dollars, like, or selling a tokenized tweet for $1 million. I heard about that being done, and I was just like, dang, that's something that just kind of shows me the overvalued currency rather than anything else. That just shows me the overvaluation of the dollar rather than anything else. And that's why I think we're going back to basics, to be honest, because we've reached peak speculation. If a tokenized tweet that you could just copy is going to be, you can just almost have an exact copy, is now being tokenized, like made into a non-fungible token worth $1 million. That's like peak speculation. So yeah, it's all a circle, and I think it's gonna come back. But yeah, so let the algorithms help you, all you MGTOW people that want to do something. Everyone says, oh, it's a philosophy, not a movement, and I get it. But clearly, just based on the videos that are getting views that I'm posting, the ones that get more views versus the ones that don't, it seems people want to do something. So it might not be a movement where, when I say movement, I don't mean like civil rights movement or feminist movement to where we're gonna go lobby the government or go march to make some laws. I mean movement in terms of like you literally doing your own thing, you starting your own small business, your own social media, sharing your own ideas or something like that. That's what I mean by movement. To me, that's movement, and that's actually more profound than going to a march and trying to change laws from the government. So when I say movement, that's kind of what I mean. I don't necessarily mean going to the government and asking them to like change some laws. I mean just doing things to change stuff yourself. So let the algorithms help you do that. In my opinion, our time is approaching, and it might be approaching quicker than I even think. That's why I'm trying to post all these videos and like hopefully get a following. I got those 12 subscribers. Hopefully there's more. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. In my opinion, it's going to be a Wild West coming up here, and that's going to be cool and maybe a little bit fun, but still try to take in other perspectives and still try to be tolerant of other people's perspectives. Yeah, that's all I could say, because it could get pretty bad, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content, interested in doing things for the future. And that's all I got. Alright, I'll stop talking now. Peace out.